when you've grown up by the sea, it pulls you back somehow. You won't have been to the sea. Your diet would be quite different there. Less pasties, I think. I wonder if you'd like it. I'm torn now. I sort of want a life between the two, but it just feels impossible.
So I'm Laura Horton, and I made A Summer of Birds for Plymouth Fringe this year.
Perfect. Do you want to give a brief summary?
Yeah, A Summer of Birds is the story of a woman who is in her mid-30s in lockdown and is incredibly lonely, and she makes friends with a seagull, in short.
It was incredibly cinematic. Just my personal takeaway from it, I was looking at all of the views in it and I was like, my gosh, it's so beautiful. So nice. Was this the same thing as what you were kind of planning to do for Fringe anyway, or did you have to change it quite a lot?
No, it was totally different. So my original idea was a show called Labyrinth Diet, which was like a 65-minute monologue that I'd already written and sort of had on at the Alcola Theatre in sort of short versions. And so it would have been the first time that was performed as like a full-length piece. And so when this was changed, I just didn't think, I thought an hour was a bit much for an online piece that couldn't be a proper film. So I just I'd been in isolation, and I had looked after a seagull called Erica. And then I just thought, I'll write about that. So that was the idea that I put in, but I hadn't written it or anything before. When I found out I got the opportunity. So I had to write it quite quickly.
Oh, so when you were writing it, did you think, this is how I want it to look, I'm gonna add in like these shots and everything, or was it kind of a process of writing it and then thinking this will look nice with it? Or
I was living in Boversans, so I already knew that would be a beautiful place to shoot, and that the Boversans estate were happy for me to do that. So I kind of had it in my head that would be the backdrop, but I didn't really think much more than that. And I wrote things that I wouldn't do again, having known what it's like to film, like quite complicated things. Yeah, like I wrote a scene in the sea, and so we had to spend like 2.5 hours in the freezing cold sea in swimming costumes.
Oh, yeah.
Ended up being like 30 seconds long. So I probably wouldn't do that again, but that was just not knowing. So I wrote it really as I would write a play script, and that's not how I would approach writing a film script if I were to do it again.
Yeah, okay. Did you have people on board to do the filming with you as well, or was it majoritively you?
No, it was I did, yes. When I applied, I had no one else on board, and then I got the decision, and I was in the middle of a project, so I was like, right, okay, I've got to write this thing and find people to film it, because otherwise it just would have been me and my phone, and I knew that would be terrible. And also I'm an awful actor. So I put a call out on Twitter, and Holly Cavanagh, who ended up acting in it, kind of responded. Had a lot of responses, actually, really brilliant people kind of locally, which is lovely because I haven't really connected with local actors very much. And then Heather Passfield, who shot it, I knew from doing Edinburgh Festival, and she's Penzance based. So she was really interested in making digital theatre but had never made a film before. So she came on board. So I was very lucky that they agreed to help me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice though. That is good. Yeah. Oh, so do you think with it all kind of like mixed together, you'd do it again now? So you'd do like more digital pieces, more film pieces now?
Yeah, I really would. I knew that I would want to make a film at some point. I thought it would be something that I might do kind of 5 years down the line. So this was sort of an early opportunity to try. It was really hard, kind of getting all the shots, and then for continuity we had to reshoot things. It took us like 5 days in the end to shoot, from like 8 a.m. to often like midnight. Ooh. And then 5 days to edit in a dark room. So Heather and I sat for like literally again from like 8 a.m. to sort of 2 in the morning for 5 days editing it. It's really difficult. I think if I were to do it again, I'd need people to help me, because it was involved, but I would definitely make another film, 100%. So it was a really amazing opportunity in that regard.
Yeah, it was a really good way to break yourself into it, I guess. Yeah. Amazing.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I think it's actually having, if I had all the time to do it, I would have been overthinking it, and I think it would have taken me years. But actually only having a month from the idea to having it finished was a really wonderful way to just do it and learn from the process.
Yeah. So are you majoritively a writer then, or would you say that you're like a theatre maker or director, or?
I'm a writer and a publicist, but I think after this process, I mean, I produced the film, so I think after this process, I would definitely look to expand what I'm doing and the work that I'm making, definitely.
Yeah. How were the rehearsals during? Because were you socially distancing and everything during it? So did you do Zoom ones, or?
Yeah, we didn't have much time because I didn't have very long to write it, and then Holly came on board. Sort of, we had someone originally who dropped out at the last minute, so Holly came on board quite late. So I think we had 2-hour-long Zoom sessions where we just read the script and went through it, and I got some advice from a director, and then she learnt it in her own time, and then we were socially distanced filming. So wasn't really a lot of time to rehearse. So we sort of had to ad-lib it a bit at points.
Yeah. Was it because some of the audio was over like the shots that you had as well? How was that recorded? Was that done on a phone, or was that with a microphone? I'm not really sure. That
was done with a microphone. So Heather brought all that equipment with her. So we did that separately, but the audio was a problem. So the wind was really bad while we were filming, so we had to cut quite a lot because the audio wasn't strong. So there are points when it's not quite strong enough, so that I would definitely employ someone to do sound if I were to make another film. That was the hardest part of the whole process, I think, because the best bits are the bits that were recorded separately.
Yeah,
so it was tough. That was really hard.
Do you think that's what you'd take away from it, that you'd want an extra team basically, or was there anything else, like with hindsight, that you think, oh, maybe that could have gone a bit smoothly now I know about it? Or
I mean, definitely having a team. I mean, my friend just made a short film and that took her 1.5 years and 17 people, and that was a 10-minute film.
Oh my gosh.
And about $7,000, so I think to get it up a notch next time, it would definitely need to apply for funding and get people on board. But I am really glad that I did it this way, so I know I did the sound, we all sort of mucked in together, and I think doing that I have a much better understanding of how everything works, so that when I do eventually want to get people on board, I sort of know what it is that they're doing. But I definitely, and also the script was not, because it was written so quickly, I would think more visually next time. I was just like I would with a theatre script, I was thinking a lot about the words rather than how it looked. And actually, if I was to make another film, I would definitely revise that.
Yeah. So what's the award that you've won then?
Oh, so the Toast of Plymouth Fringe, which is really nice. Yeah, really lovely to receive that. It's just the whole thing is wonderful. Thank you. I think just during this period of the pandemic, which has been so miserable, it's been really nice to have something positive, for sure.
Do you have any plans for the future with it at all, or?
Yeah, so we've just put it online through Vimeo, but I have entered it into lots of different film festivals. So I hope now we've got it, I feel like it's silly not to utilize it. So I'll keep sending it in to film festivals and have it up online for sure. I think we might try at some point to edit the audio again, just to kind of to improve it a little bit. But yes, I definitely want it to do the festival circuit and keep going. Yeah,
definitely. I think everyone should see those views, really. And then like with what you wrote against it, I think it just matches perfectly. I do have one more thing to ask, actually. when you found the seagull, was it the seagull that you had looking after, or was it just a random seagull that you did find? Or
so the seagull that I was looking after wasn't sadly around. I mean, I don't know what happened to her. She might have flown away, but she probably didn't. The footage in the film was footage of Erica, the real seagull that I looked after. But she wasn't around when we were filming, sadly. So, yeah.
Aw.